I am Ashwat Kailasan from Group 1. The project chosen for the Studio 3, that is Integrated Construction Practices, is a mixed use project which consists of both commercial and residential aspects. The construction cost of the project is about 45 crores. In this project, BIM was not implemented, and the scope of study considered are the basement on ground and the first floors. The flow of study is as shown here. I perform the roles of BIM coordinator, structural consultant, and lean champion. During the studio study, we have collaborated using several softwares like Autodesk BIM 360, OneDrive, Planoly, and MyRobots. First, a BIM execution plan has been made. The BIM execution plan consists of the information like the project info, the technical infrastructure needed, such as the softwares and the hardwares, the key project contacts, that is the stakeholder information, the collaboration strategy which is to be used, the various deliverables expected out of this, the employees' information requirements obtained from the client, the modeling structure, file formats, etc. And the most important thing are the project goals, are the BIM goals and uses. So several goals are listed down here. For example, we can see a better planning of location by using the site utilization planning and path of travel analysis. The priority has been given as medium. Similar to this, several high priority, medium, and low priority goals are there. Some of the high priority goals are like 3D visualization, tracking, and planning of design activities, and also 4D simulation, 5D simulation, etc. At the end of the studio, most of these goals have been achieved, except one, which is the 3D record model. This has not been achieved because the structural elements were only being executed on the site, whereas the architectural and MEPF discipline works have not been started. So the 3D record model would not have been of much use to the client. 3D modeling was performed using Revit. So in case of structural modeling, the diaphragm wall, beams, columns, stair walls, and also the slabs were modeled. And we could see in the image shown here. The first image shows the LOD 300 model for the basement. And then the below image, we could see the integrated one with the structural elements, MEPF, and also the architectural elements, which shows a clear image with the stack parking, the lighting, the pendant sprinklers placed, the jet fans placed, etc. And also in the top right, we could see the entire integrated model in which we could see the landscaping, ramp area, and also the other features. The pores are also mentioned here. So the main challenges which were faced during the structural modeling was the varying levels of beams and slabs, and also there was a huge delay in receival of information related to the column and the RCC wall reinforcements. So these two are the major delays, and these are the reasons for variance. Class detection is performed in 3 sets, so several classes were identified between several disciplines. Some of the major classes were taken for quantification. Quantification was done in 2 ways, one for pre-work related to classes, and other was the quantification for the design errors. So in the first case, we should see there is a class between the shear wall of the structural discipline and also the cable tray of the electrical discipline. So if this has been executed inside in this way, then a core cutting would be required in order to pass the electrical cable through the shear wall. So to perform this core cutting, the cost would be incurred. This cost has been quantified as shown here. The material cost, the tools cost, the labor, and the inspection costs have been identified and listed down. So the total cost comes out to be 3,146.10. So the major cost goes for the core cutting. But if this class has been identified earlier and then a sleeve has been provided, then this cost could be avoided. Similarly, in case of design errors, as shown here, the image here shows the intersection of the jet fan with the structural beam. So similar to this, several design errors were there. So 3 such instances were taken, and then the various uh, parameters which would incur the cost are considered. For example, the personnel involved, the logistics involved, like printing, transportation, software, etc. So this comes out to be 1,317 for these 3 instances. So if these classes are like resolved during the design phase itself, this cost could be saved. So the main benefit of integration is that these design error classes can be avoided initially, and also these rework classes can also be avoided initially, avoiding the incurrence of such huge cost in the later stage of the project. 4D simulation or SOFA. 4D is nothing but integrating the schedule to the model. So there are certain benefits and limitations for the 4D. So the benefits are like we could identify the elements which are omitted in the schedule. This could be identified by seeing the model in the sync row. So whichever elements are present there initially, then it means that these elements have not been linked to the schedule. So this is one thing. And the second thing is like we can identify the varying consistency in the schedule. In the first column here, we could see the reinforcement was not modeled. Directly the columns come into place. Whereas in the second one, the reinforcements come, then the columns come. So this shows a proper constructability. So such defects in the constructability of the schedule could be identified easily. And then there are certain limitations also, such as rapid generation of the alternate scenarios of the sequencing is difficult. Several scenarios couldn't be tested out in the same software platform at the same time. And then very minute delays like in hours or in 1 or 2 days is also difficult to be identified. And the main one is for the 4D, 3D modeling is a prerequisite, and modeling the whole 3D is very much laborious and it takes time. Last plan system has been implemented for the design activities and also for the site execution activities. Here we'll see the present plan complete for the design activities. This PPC has been arrived at for all the activities weekly. So the various reasons for variance have been given in the left table. And then in case of one stakeholder, if we see for the MPF stakeholder, there is 100% PPC in the week 1, and then the PPC reduces to nearly 60% in the week 2. And there are several reasons such as the lack of clarity in drawings, the lack of knowledge of Revit, and also the complexity of the design in case of the service elements, which includes the lack of the vertical level details for the service elements, and also certain collaboration issues such as linking of structural drawings, etc., was uh, observed and faced by that particular stakeholder during the modeling process. So the PPC is lower, but later on these issues have been solved and resolved, and the PPC increased steadily, and we could see it was consistently 100% for the further weeks. So similarly, for all the other stakeholders, the PPC was noted down based on the reasons for the variance, and then the inputs have been given for the further planning, and then PPC was optimized towards the end. The first graph here shows the PPC versus the reasons for variance. Here we could see a general trend like higher the PPC, lower would be the reasons for variance, and the PPC would be lower in case the reasons are higher. So the lowest PPC was observed during the weeks 6 and 7 because several unplanned activities came into account and there was manpower unavailability with respect to the architectural stakeholder. And there are several learnings throughout the study which helped to improve the PPC at the later stage. Uh, Generally, the stakeholders got familiar with the software functionality and then they started modeling efficiently. And also, they learned how to assess the work properly and then give commitment. The BIM coordinator also like identified the constraints effectively and also made the right stakeholder responsible. In case of the contractor, the main difficulty was the software functional issues with respect to the 4D and the 5D, but these issues have been tackled by watching several educational videos. And there were several implications in the day-to-day planning. For example, the structural modeling flow was changed after the initial days. Initially, it was planned like the first the beams will be modeled and then the slabs, but it was changed to that first slabs should be modeled and then the beams. Then similarly, like staircase and ramp elements were first considered in the structural modeling, but later on it was transferred to the architectural consultant after understanding the Revit functionality. And then the bottom right image shows the variation between the milestone schedule, which was initially planned, and also the actual happenings. So we could see very high variations are there because initially we were highly unfamiliar with the work which has to be performed. And then if we had familiarity and then if LPS is implemented to a greater extent, then we could say that these variations could be removed. Production can be seen in three views: transformation, flow, and value. So these three views which were identified through the studio process have been shown here. The milestone schedule is an example for the transformation view because inputs are getting transferred to the outputs here. And in case of flow, we could see the BEP which we made LOD with LOS, the LPS tracking, the PPC analysis, the 4D and 5D analysis. All these are helping us to clearly understand the flow and have a control over the flow. And in case of value, we could say the employees information requirement in BEP, and also the class reduction process, the rule-based checking process, the choosing the advantage method for design optimization. All these helps us to achieve the value. The several BIM functionalities help in achieving several lean principles. So all these BIM functionalities and the lean principles which are observed in this study have been tabulated here in the form of a matrix. For example, under 4D, we could see the consistent process simulation will help in reducing the production variability in the future. So here the number 12 have been marked there. Similarly, the others have been marked. Key learnings, BIM execution plan helps to streamline the workflow and also it aligns the stakeholders towards the goals. Modeling was done, and during modeling, several difficulties were faced, and they have been noted down, and these difficulties have been addressed in the further process. Class reduction was performed, and several classes were also quantified. We can infer that if class reduction is done earlier, then a huge cost could be saved in the later stage. 4D was done, and an effective visualization of the schedule was achieved. Various benefits and limitations of the 4D have also been noted down, and the last planner system was implemented, and we understood that a better commitment can be given after analyzing the reasons for variance weekly, and continuous improvement could be achieved. And various BIM functionalities give rise to several lean principles, and this has been understood and represented in the form of a BIM lean interaction matrix. The transformation flow and value points of user production have also been understood and shown. And the images below show the site and client interactions during the project. Thank you.